Hi everybody. So I'm going to do a dream. This one was done December 30th. Um, so this dream was a little strange. I was taking a nap. So some of these dreams just happen in the middle of the day when I decide to take naps. So that's what happened here. So anyways, I was in my dream. I was in my house. Supposedly, I felt like it was my house. And I was in the kitchen, and it was just me and my husband at that point. We were just in the kitchen, and I was complaining about this noise. Like, I kept hearing a sound, and I couldn't, like, figure out where this sound was coming from. So, my husband, he's just like, I don't hear anything. And I'm like, how don't you hear that? And then all of a sudden, behind him appeared a dishwasher, and it was missing the door, but it looked like there was a sink inside the dishwasher and the water was running like a faucet. So I'm like, look, right there. I'm like, don't you see that? Like, you don't hear that? There's water running. So then he turns around and he's just like looking at it, and there's like a hose, like I said, it looks like a faucet is inside of it, and it's just like pouring out water. So then I hear my door creak, my front door. So I like look through the doorway from the kitchen, and I look straight down and I see the front door. And at the front door, I see one of my nephews. And so I'm like, oh, hey guys. And then he comes in, and then his twin brother comes in, and my sister comes in. So I'm like, hey guys, how are you doing? And I honestly, I remember going over to them, saying hi, and then next picture, they're gone. So it's kind of like within my dream, I blacked out or spaced out within the time that they were there. So I felt strange. Like, I felt rude in a way. Like, I don't even remember saying goodbye to my sister and my nephews. So I decide to call my sister up. So first, I'm just trying to call her up on my phone, and it's not working. It's not calling her. So I'm just like, what's going on? I'm like getting frustrated with my phone. So then I decide to like do like the phone, speak to the phone and be like, hey, call, my sister's name. And so it rings. So I call my sister up, and I'm just like talking to her on the phone like nothing. And I'm like, "Hey sis, I don't want to be rude. I thought like I don't remember. Like I don't remember when you were here." Um so I just wanted to like say like, was everything fine? You guys, I don't know how long you were here or anything like that, but is everything okay? You guys are good. So as I'm talking to my sister, I walk into the living room. And in the living room, the entrance area that I walked through looked like a fireplace here. It looked like a rug, then a sofa. And then behind the sofa was like a little side table thing, like those long tables that are behind sofas where you put like a lamp. It was that. And then in front of it was another table. So as I'm talking to my sister on the phone, I'm seeing words form on the wall. Um, and it's just like, and it's not like just writing on the wall. It looks like not like graffiti, but you know how like graffiti, it's like an actual mural of something. It's not just like you take a pen and you write something. So that's what started happening. Like it was a full mural forming on the wall. And it said like I just want to get the correct writing on it. So it said something like seamen, like men of the sea, or yeah, like seamen or something like that. So I was like, what's this? So she's like, what's going on? And I said, oh, I'm just like seeing these words, they're forming on the wall. And I'm like, it's very strange because not only in front of me, but on the side wall, I'm starting to see words forming, and I'm just confused. Um, and then I'm talking to my sister, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry. It's a red moon day and things are crazy on those days." And I'm just like, what is she talking about? Talking nonsense here. Red moon day. Like what does she mean? But I'm still like bugging out because like there's stuff on my wall forming, like words are just appearing across the wall. So I really think like I'm going crazy. Um so as I'm talking to her, I start to notice that there are now books appearing on those little tables. And the books are now they're so it's three books piled up. You know, they look like normal, you know, like when you see like a long book, then it's a shorter book, and there's a smaller book. So it's like three books formed. And then this was on the table that was across from the table behind the sofa. But now all of a sudden, since I got closer, now a poster board appeared on the table that was behind the sofa. And now everything is saying the same thing on it. So I'm seeing though on the poster board sailors. So this is like Civil War times, or like, you know, back in the day, because I'm seeing ships. And these aren't like military ships. These are like olden day piratey looking ships, but they're not pirates on them. They're military people, like sailors on these ships. And so I'm like trying to read the images on it because they do look like Civil War time. So then the phones start breaking up with my sister, and I'm just like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff here that it wasn't here before. And she's like, oh, my sons must have left it there. So I'm just like, oh, okay, but the phone's breaking up. So then like it disconnects. And then I'm just like, I don't understand, like, what's going on. And then the door knocks, like, I get a knock at the door, and my sister's there. And she's like, hey guys. She was like, oh, let me just grab this stuff from you real fast. And she takes all the books and the poster boards and she takes them to the car. So my nephews, they run inside the house, and now they're inside the house. And so she grabs it, takes it outside, and then we go in the kitchen. And my mom is now here with my sister, and they're sitting on the bench in my kitchen. And we're talking just about like what I was talking about before, which I was like seeing like this mural thing, and it was still on my wall. And it was saying like brothers of the sea or men of the sea. Um, so then, anyways, my sister, she has like a water bottle in front of her, and we're sitting on like the table, and I hear something in my living room. And then I get up, and just remember the water bottle that was, my sister was drinking a water bottle and was just sitting on the table. So I hear something in the living room. So we head to the living room, and then she's just, you know, we all head out there, and now there's a hole in the wall where those tables were, that wall area. There's like a giant black square, right? But it's not like you can see outside. It's literally looks like there's another section of the house, but the wall was like torn down, and there's like a second area because like you can see the edge here, and you can like step over it, and then it's like dirt on the floor, and it's all pitch black in there. So I'm just like, what just happened to the wall? And so my husband is now sitting on the edge of where the hole is, and he's like this, like his head is hurting him. He's sitting on the edge. And then my stepdaughter, she appears out of nowhere, and she's just like, Dad, what are they saying to you? And I'm just like, what is she talking about? Like, who's saying what to who? So um I go and I go near Matt, and I'm just like, are you okay? And he's just like this. So I close my eyes and I start like speaking in tongues. And while I'm speaking in tongues and I'm looking at my husband where the hole is, I see two demon faces, like demonic faces appear, like flash of one face, flash of another face. So open my eyes and I look at my sister, and I'm like, this isn't good. This is evil. Like this pitch black hole. And so I'm like, can you bless the house? I'll go get my anointing oil. And so I go to the kitchen to go where I have my anointing oil. And I notice though in my left hand something. And then I see in my right sleeve something drops out from wrapped around my wrist. So in my left hand, I open it, and there's black rosaries in my left hand. And then what dropped down was turquoise beads were wrapped around my wrist, and then hanging on it was like this wooden thing, and it said on it, it was like, oh yes, it was wooden beads wrapped around my wrist, and then hanging was a wooden square, and it says, God gives you the ability to see evil, and it had the Jesus fish symbol, written like over the words. So I was just like, what? Um, so then I started hearing popping sounds as I'm like looking at my hands and like what's going on. And I look where the water bottle was on the table, and now there was some water she had spilled on the table and it's boiling. Like the water is like sizzling and popping and stuff like that. So I ran to my sister and I went to show her the beads. And I was like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know what this means. Like, what does that mean? And she goes and she sees it and she's like, oh, I have the same one. And I'm just like, okay. So I'm like talking to my sister and I'm like, can you bless this house? Like, I don't know what's going on. There's something like evil going on. But now I'm starting like I'm asking her to bless the house. So then she picks up the phone and she calls somebody, but she's speaking another language, like Middle Eastern. And I'm seeing now picture like over my ceiling is a giant ship now. Like I see water, waves, and a giant ship, and there's sailors on the ship. And then it's like forming all the way down. Like this whole room now is covered in sailors. I'm like, what is going on? Like I'm seeing ships, and then it's like seamen, brothers of the sea, and stuff like that, or like sons of the sea. That's what it said. It said Sons of the Sea. So I'm just like, what is Sons of the Sea? Like, I don't know what this is. So uh, I go I go then to the other room after I hear my sister talking, and then I see all this forming everywhere. So I decide to go into the kitchen, but now when I go into that area, it's an empty room and it's beige, like white pale walls, like a, a beige rug, like it's plain. But as I'm standing in the middle of the room, I'm looking now at the end of the room, and now a mural is painting all over that wall too. And it's a Roman arena. So I'm seeing now it's the arena is the outline around the wall, and I'm seeing different types of races and statuses sitting in wooden chairs with the high backs. And it looks like some are whispering to each other. Some look like kings. Some look like Roman soldiers. And then at the center, underneath where those people are sitting, in the center is empty. It's just like sand. And then at the bottom, I see is Jesus on a cross. Mind you, this is all like cartoon looking though. This isn't like, beautiful artistic paintings, like this looks like a cartoon in a way. So I see at the bottom Jesus on the cross, and next to him is another prisoner on a cross. And then I see what looks like a black pen. And it looks like a sword is going, somebody drew in a black pen, like a sword going into Jesus's left side. And a Roman soldier is next to the sword. And then on the opposite wall, facing this behind me now, starting to form are the words God and Jesus. And then I went back into the living room and I see my husband on the phone. And he says to my mom, the owner says, if we stay with you, if we can stay with you, because she's going to have the house, the walls torn down, and so she can check the foundation to see who was taken. Um, and then that was the end of my dream. So the points in here was, in this dream was basically, I saw two demons attacking my husband. I do believe that it had to do with ancestral stuff because his daughter appeared and she wasn't there originally. Um, the beads, the beads and rosaries. So I don't have any rosaries. Um, and I don't have any beads that say that. I did bring that up to my sister about what it said. So my sister's like, it could possibly be discernment. Like God is giving me the ability to identify evil in my life so that I can better battle it. And then I'm not too aware of the seaman situation with like Sons of the Sea, why that was just like forming everywhere. And then in the next room was basically like people of different races and statuses mocking the crucifixion of Jesus, and like making it like mockery is by making it a cartoon as well. Um, And then in the beginning, with the whole running water, where I can only hear it, my husband couldn't hear it. Um, and again, my husband is not um, into the faith too much, so that could also be why. But yes, so this was a very strange dream. And then the red moon thing that my sister was saying in the beginning, how, it's a red moon day. Things are crazy on the red moon day. So I'm not aware of what any of that means, but it seems like a lot of symbolism in this dream. So I do feel like God is trying to talk to me a lot, to warn me, to give me understanding about how I can help my family through prayer. And him giving me the ability to, speak on this, because it's not obviously not just going to be me who's dealing with situations like this where God is giving you dreams that you're just like, yeah, they're just a dream, strange things happen, but you can really think like, hey, there's a lot of symbolism if you look into the Bible, look up the little pieces that really stood out, and you'll, put them together here and there, because I have heard here and there red moon before, and I have, an idea of the sea, the sons of the sea, symbolism of it, the ships, there was boats, and there was the disciples of God, and they were always traveling and stuff like that. So could be. So if anybody else has, deeper understanding of dreams, I am welcome to get your feedback. You can leave me a message on my Facebook page that's associated to this YouTube channel. But I hope you enjoyed listening. And if you guys have any requests for prayers, or if you guys have dreams yourselves, like I said, reach out to me and I will check them out. I love you guys and have a good one.